Hello, WealthLab 8 users. Today we're going to look at what's new on WealthLab 8 build 16. So let's get started. Build 16 contains a number of fixes, some minor enhancements. We added also a lot of things to the extensions, shoring up some of the behavior and interactive brokers, IQ feed, several of the other extensions. But there's one noteworthy feature in Build 16 itself that I want to talk about. It's a new method in our strategy coding framework. We use the C# language to code strategy rules in WealthLab. That's only one way of creating a strategy. We also have a drag and drop capability, but here I'm showing you a strategy coded in C#, and it's a very simple strategy. As you can see, there's really only a couple lines of code here in the execute method. This execute method is called once for every bar of data that gets processed in the strategy, per symbol even. So what we're doing here is we're looking to see first if there is an open position being held by the strategy. So if there isn't, so if the last position, and notice when I click on last position, the handy quick ref here pops up to show me that entry and give me some documentation on that. So if there is no last position, if it's equal to null, or the month of the current bar is not equal to the previous month. So what this means is this code will execute once a month, basically, since I'm running this on daily data. And here's where the magic happens. Rebalance. So it's calling this method rebalance, which is new in build 16. So what rebalance does is takes the symbol that you specify here in the bars parameter. So that's the current symbol being processed and executed. It comes in through here, this parameter. And you also give it a percentage value. So here in this strategy, I am testing it on this data set 3 symbols. So if I go over to my data sets and I look at 3 symbols, we can see that it's Apple, Amazon, and Microsoft that I picked for this demo. And it's testing the last 6 months of data. So what Rebalance will do is take the percentage that we provided here, and we're saying 33.3333%. So that's 1/3 of the current equity we want to allocate to the symbol. And since it's being called every month, this rebalancing will occur once a month. So what it does behind the scenes is it sees, first of all, if we have any open position in that symbol, and if we don't, it just buys a position to give us this 33% of the current equity. If there is an open position, if that open position is less than 33% of the equity, it will buy another position to get it up to that 33% level. If the current open position is already above 33%, it will issue a sell to sell off part of that position. So it winds up splitting that position, and we'll see how that looks after we run this. So let's run this on the 3 symbols, Apple, Amazon, and Microsoft. So here we go. Here's our equity curve. You can see the strategy is always 100% invested. There's no light green areas of cash. So, and if I move the mouse like through, we can see, that we're always holding 3 symbols, Apple, Amazon, and Microsoft. So it's apparently doing the job. It's fully invested in each of those 3 symbols, but let's take a look at the positions list. And here I sorted this by entry date. So what you'll notice is some interesting things. So as you might expect, each of the 3 symbols, Apple, Microsoft, and Amazon, have a large position that was entered on the first trading day, the strategy process, which was March 14th. However, there's also these other smaller positions. So what this is showing you is that when the rebalance period came, WealthLab behind the scenes split that position. So it sold off a part of that larger position. So it kind of left us with a little smaller position. And in case of Apple here, a couple of them alongside the larger one. So if you look at the chart, you could see them here on Apple. So here's the three initial positions. One of them, the big one, is still open. I mean, it hasn't sold yet, and it won't sell because that large position will stay open throughout the history of the backtest. However, the two smaller positions, one of them sold right here at the beginning of this month. So that indicated that Apple was a little bit above the 33% weighting at that point, so it wound up selling that. And this other one here wound up selling a little bit farther out. If we scroll back, we'll see that that exited over here. And there's actually another entry here. So at this point, Apple had gone down, so it was evidently below the desired 33% threshold. So we wound up buying another small position here during this rebalance month. So this is the rebalance method for those of you who want to model strategies that maintain a certain balance of symbols throughout the life of the backtest. It's much easier to do now thanks to this new method. And that's it, everybody, for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you all on the forums.